There is nothing quite like the joy of creation. It's a strange thing. It has its own flow, its own energy, capturing lightning in a bottle, wrapping it up nice and pretty in a bow, speaking life back into existence, like creating a loaf of bread from nothing, the universe from scratch. Not even a single moment is missing. It renders its creator catatonic with glee, shivering. The inside becomes too palpable. The body writhes with divine pleasures, playing God, inch by inch, like something from a play, a marionette whose strings have been cut, seeing the world for what it truly is, not a playground or a sandbox, but a theater. When your voice finally takes wing and you feel yourself uplifted, it can be true that you are closer to God than ever. Divinity shot through with veins of strength. But then it fades away, and the next high must be sought. And will you find it becomes the only question left on your mind. It's a low note. It's strong. But if you seek it, if you build it enough, then the people will appear. They'll be there to support you when you need it most. In your hours of doubt and fear, the superstitions clouding your mind, like poetry. And even the greatest poets of all time had to lean on something. Even if only a momentary crutch. Sometimes that crutch is what keeps you from falling over. It's better to lean on something or someone than to crack your head trying to start over. It's a ghost, but it's an idea as well. And when you create something, you make a ghost of yourself. But a ghost is really just a wish. It's a wish of what things could be, a wish for intrigue, a wish for a different world. And when that thing that you made finally sparkles, that's when you know that you've really hit gold. When you feel the electricity brimming in your hands, when the friction rises and falls down your back, when everything collides into place, like the spots that you see when hit over the head. Everything seems to change. Not just inch by inch, but meter by meter. Until finally you find yourself unable to control it anymore. And you spasm with delight. It's such a beautiful thing. Who could resist it, really? I'll tell you this much, not me. But when I find myself there, when I see where I am, who I've become and what I need to do next, I find myself agape in awe of my task to come. Not only am I expected to perform, but I also see that I am expected to be great. And this expectation comes from within, of all places. I expect so much of myself. And yet when I fail to deliver, I blame myself yet again. Creation takes its toll, and even God rested for a day. But if you never let yourself rest, what kind of obsession would that make? What kind of man would that make? Would you have life and personality, or would you be nothing more than a homunculus, trapped and tapped out, every inch of you pulled apart to make something new? Drawn and quartered, completely eviscerated by what you made. What kind of life is that? Totalized and consumed by what you make. Could I live that life? Could I be there? Could I see and taste that wine? Could I touch a muse, and would they touch me back? The spots in the eyes begin to wrinkle, and the light shines through. But where does it land? And where do I land beside it? I have to question this now before I begin again. I have to see where things go. I have to know. The curiosity gets the better of me. And then I'm just a child again, trying to pick their favorite color, lost in an ocean of thoughts. And when that sunset finally comes, it takes a part of me with it. Something I can't get back, no matter how hard I try. And what kind of world is this to let me become so attached to such a small thing? It's a world I find myself in now. The great debate running through my mind. The question is, can I even create something at all? The answer seems closer to me than I ever thought possible. I stretch, and my limbs stretch with me, but it's a stretch of the mind. The body just moves synchronously as it happens. It feels raw and rough, tired and outperformed. But there's a sensibility to it, something deeper, something like a mine that reaches the very center of the earth, pushing all the way through me like a needle. And when I grasp it, it turns to flame, and I catch an ember and a cinder of what I could be, of what could have been, and what could still be. It's up to me to take that ember and make something useful out of it. And how long do I have to claw tooth and nail just to finally make progress? I question that every day. I question where I'm going and where I came from. And it's not quite enough. This creative process is just so above me. I put myself beneath it. Because it's easier than saying I'm good, or that I'm talented. I wonder if I'll ever understand. Maybe it's not meant to be understood by people like me. Maybe it's better that I don't know. And even as I struggle every day, I worry for the worst about myself, about those around me, and I worry if I'll ever get out and feel the sun on my face again. But there are some nights where I can feel it coming. Tiny steps like those of a child, keeping me locked in place into reality. And when it does come, when I sense it again, when it hits me like never before, I find that I am shocked, taken aback, in awe. Nothing seems the same anymore. And it's like I'm a child again, just like in that sunset. And my feet get swept away with the sand. That beach becomes an island. And I can't escape it. And I don't want to. When I'm stuck there, I have to find some way to entertain myself. And this is it. What you hear is my mind. It's a machination of all the things that have ever been wrong with me, scooped into a pure distilled form. Something beautiful. Something I never thought I could be. And something I try very hard to understand. It's so raw. It's so unforgiving. Yet there's so much potential there. This may never even make it to the ears of those who want to hear it. Just calamitous thoughts ringing out randomly. Is it just a test? It could be. But I have to keep trying. Even if I fail, and fall, and falter. If I never try, then nothing will ever change. And I'll never change. And I will change. Even if it is inch by inch. The world will keep turning. And I'll finally turn with it. I may even hold the hand of someone I love. I may even feel that love given back to me. Something so deep. Pushed back so far. I waited so long. Stuck on that island. Until finally a raft could take me away. Back to civilization.